What's up?
We're here to talk to you again.
That's right.
Get excited.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah. So, what is this, like day 5,312 of the coronavirus?
Yep.
What it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what day it is.
Can't go outside anymore. Can't do anything.
Can't do anything.
Nope.
You can't work out. Can't eat right. You got to drink all day long.
Yep.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm just eating cheeseburgers and
Yeah.
laying in the bathtub watching TV.
In the bathtub.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, you had a specific topic that you wanted to get into today. So let's do it.
For sure. I wanted to talk about accountability because I think a lot of people have different looks on what accountability is. And what I've tend to find a lot of people that are disappointed in certain types of accountability, or I think there's a mindset that accountability means that someone's going to like be holding your hand through it, or that they're texting you 5 times a day. They're like, let's go, let's do this. We're going to work out together, kind of stuff like that. And I think that's a really unrealistic expectation for whatever you're trying to do. And I think what accountability is someone who's checking in that's going to help guide you to where you want to be. But you have to have that own individual want and need to get to whatever goal you're trying to get to. So if you don't have the drive, it doesn't matter what anyone's doing, whether we're calling or texting or messaging people, whether that's what we're doing or someone else is doing. It's not going to matter if you don't answer that person, if you don't want to do it, if you keep giving yourself excuses. Because if someone tells me that they can't work out right now, right, or they don't feel like they want to, right?
I've heard both of those.
Yeah, I've heard both of those as well. That's not something I can't change that. I can maybe give you a little bit of insight, but the thing is the accountability isn't going to change that. It can't.
No,
because that's you, right? That's what you want, and that's like your drive, your inner want and needs. And if you don't have that, then there's not much more anyone can do for you.
Yeah, I mean that's right. You defined it. What accountability was. You defined accountability as somebody checking in with you, making sure you're making progress, helping you adjust.
Yeah, if something comes up.
But accountability is not. Before we started, you used to pull them over the finish line. You can't pull somebody over the finish line. Yeah. It's not going to happen. Yeah. I don't know what that becomes. What does that become after an extended period of time where you are, whatever the agreement is, you're helping someone be accountable. They're not doing their part, but you're still trying to make them feel accountable. What does that become? That's like,
you want to know my real term?
Yeah,
a pain in my ass.
Yeah,
because look, there was someone that we worked really, really hard with for years, where we would call her if she to make sure she was getting up to come to class. We were trying to work out with her at the same time. We did all these extra things, right? This was off and on for like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
She quit, came back, and tried it again. We did. I think I did as much as I possibly could, and the same results always happened. She never cared enough about herself, and she never wanted to do it. She never tried to find enjoyment in it. And so it's like what she wanted, but she didn't want it enough to like want to do it.
Right.
And again, we literally were calling her. I was calling her at 4:30 in the morning to come to 5 a.m. class to make sure she was awake. Right. Like, and people would be like, "Oh my God, that's so awesome!" But it's not. It's not awesome because if I have to do that, then what I started to realize not long ago is like, well, she just doesn't want to fucking get up, set a goddamn alarm, and wake the fuck up.
Yeah, like where are we?
Yeah,
where are we with this?
Like I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. I'm here to help. Here's a fucking workout. Make sure you're doing it safe, and I want to make sure that you're happy. But I'm not your babysitter. I'm not in control of your life.
Right.
And honestly, if that's the case, I'm sorry, we're not getting paid enough. Like,
no.
to take care of people.
At that point, you got to become some sort of therapist or whatever. I mean, this isn't. I don't want to call it a phenomenon because it happens a lot more than it doesn't happen in my experience of meeting people. But it's not just working out. Like,
it's all
this happens in interpersonal stuff too, and you know that person. I'm sure we all have this person in our life that comes to us for advice, wants us to like, tell me what you think about this, and you tell them, or they're like, what should I do here, and you tell them, you're like, I'm really trying to do this. You know, how can I solve this problem? Well, here's how I might solve it. Cool. And they never, ever listen to what you said or do like anything even remotely close to the idea that you gave them.
Yeah.
You know what I call that person? I call them an asshole. It's not mine. I've got it from someone else.
That was good.
But it's like, it's the same. And I think it almost becomes more about that interaction for that person. It seems, I don't want to play like dime store psychologist, but I think it becomes more about the interaction, not about the thing that they're saying that they want to do. It's about their interaction with you. That's where they're getting something, you know?
Yeah, maybe like they feel like their life is really important and you're talking about it, they're talking about it.
Yeah.
It makes them feel good that people are talking about it.
They had no intention of doing the stuff, or no intention, like maybe the thing they're even bringing up isn't really even a problem.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they feel fine the way they look or whatever. They've been like lying the whole time. I don't know. But it's more about that interaction, I think. And I want to say, like, personally, I feel, because I've been through that too, and I know you have, specifically as a you know, physical fitness coach. It's pretty obvious a lot of times. It's like one of the first things you run into people, and I know you've experienced it a lot over the years. I feel like I'm getting better at sniffing it out, like earlier on in the process. I mean, you still get still get like blindsided by people, but like I feel like I'm getting better sniffing it out.
Yeah. I always kind of make references to this person, but to give an example.
Show me where the bad people hurt you.
No. To give an example, like I've never had that conversation with Evan. I've never had to be like, hey.
Right. We have a whole podcast on him and an interview. Yeah.
But, and, you know, I think there's guiding. Poonam's a great example where we've constantly guided her, but she does what we say.
Yeah, she does the work.
And then now, like we've said, since we met her to now, she's changed a lot as a person. But because she's open and she listens and then she executes on it, right? She might say, hey, I don't want to do this, and be like, hey, you need to do it, right?
Yeah,
and she knows that, and then,
do it, yeah.
But she'll do it.
Right.
If you tell her to do it, she'll do it. And like that's the thing is those are two different ways. Like one, someone who doesn't question anything, someone who might want something and you have to push them a little bit. That's okay. That's why we're here, right? But then the difference is someone who's like, you're checking in like, hey, did you get a workout today? And they're like, oh, no, I didn't make it. It's like, okay, I want you to do it tonight at this time, right? And they say, okay. And then you check in on them the next day and they either don't answer you. They're like, oh, I never got to it. Or I just didn't really.
On my phone, I didn't see.
I didn't.
Bullshit. You're staring
I
at
just didn't
Facebook
even feel like doing it.
24/7. I know you saw it.
The thing is, though, is that person is someone where it's like accountability is not going to help them.
Right. It's not about accountability at that point.
Yeah. It's about like self-will and self-perseverance and all that kind of stuff. And that's a really difficult thing. And again, usually I'm not trying to like pick on them, but a lot of times they like to blame things around them or even like, hey, the gym's not exactly what I thought it would be. Right.
It's really hot this summer or it's really cold this winter.
Yeah.
Like,
there's that too.
Like
yeah.
80% of the time. Like,
yeah.
You can only work out 20% of the year. Gotcha.
Yes, I totally know we didn't have an AC, but still,
you either want it or you don't.
You're working out.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
it's
sweating.
Not about that.
If you're uncomfortable, then you're probably doing something right. So if you come in the gym to be comfortable, I'm sorry, that's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking
I personally
heard.
love working out in the summer. I love it when it's miserable.
Yeah.
That's me though.
You're already sweating.
Like when it's storming and raining, I'm like, let's run outside, and you're like, you're goddamn crazy. And I'm like, let's go.
I know it's crazy hot and it can be uncomfortable a little bit, but again, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess if you're going to do a dance class, you want to like feel cool and whatever and blah, blah, blah. But we're coming here because we're trying to lose weight, get stronger, be faster, right?
Yeah.
Shit like that. Cool. Well, then who gives a fuck? But look, like that's just one thing. That's one aspect. But what I'm trying to say is like a lot of these times excuses happen with people that we have to drag along, and they're the same people that are on for 2 weeks, off for a month, on for 2 weeks, off for a month,
right?
And they're the same people that always, they're never anyone that renews. I'm just saying that too.
No, you're right.
Then a lot of times they kind of give you like this whole like spiel of why it wasn't good for them,
right?
And
to be clear, for us, it's not even about the money.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, we need money to survive. We get it; it's a business, but like, it's really not about the money at that point because we've worked with people.
Yeah,
we're like, because at a certain point, as a coach, it becomes a matter of principle. Where you're like, I'll just train you for free. You're like, well, suddenly I can't even do that, and it's like,
yeah. It doesn't matter. You can make any exception for it. It's more of, here's the thing. A lot of people will not admit when they're like, I can't do this because I'm a lazy piece of shit. And there's times in your life where you need to reflect on that and just admit it to yourself. Because the thing is you're just annoying everyone else around you.
Yes.
Including your people that are trying to fucking give a shit about you.
Yep.
And I'm cussing a lot this time because I'm really
That's
passionate
how we know
about
when you're real.
And
man.
I'm just so done with, we try to help so hard and people just give me the dumbest shit.
Yep.
And it's just like, just give a crap about yourself. It sucks that me and you care more about them
than they care about themselves.
Yeah.
That's
what's fucked up about it.
The one thing,
sorry. Cussing so much.
No, it's fine. I'll just set it as not for kids in YouTube. Because you have that setting. It's for kids or not for kids.
That's good. Yeah, that's definitely.
This is definitely not for kids. So, for me, there's 2 points. And I do feel strongly about this. And is that, like, what'd you call him? Lazy piece of shit?
Yeah.
To a certain degree, where, like, if you can't even show up for yourself, right? If you don't have it in you to get off your ass, show up for yourself, make yourself better, how in the hell are you ever going to show up for someone else when they need you?
Yeah. Whether it's your spouse or anyone.
Yeah, and we've been doing some mental coaching programs and stuff. We've got some experimental programs going, and it's like one of the things I'm learning is how bad we think of ourselves and how bad we treat ourselves. And when you go through some of the questions and answers with people, I find out that most people treat themselves like they wouldn't treat another person, and it's sort of the inverse here, where if you can't get up and do something for yourself and put yourself in a position where you're getting better, where you're gonna be better off to then help other people, right? You're never gonna be there for somebody else. It's just not gonna happen. So for me, when I start to feel like a lazy piece of shit, that's usually where my mind goes. Like, man, if I can't do this for myself, how the hell am I gonna, how am I showing my kids that it's bad to be a lazy piece of shit, right? They're watching me. How can I be there for my wife? How can I be there for my parents as they're getting older? If I can't get off my own ass, that's where I usually start. And the other part, it is really just about discipline. It's really about self-discipline. And I'm not just talking about like, making sure you wash your car and do your taxes on time. I'm just talking about the basics of self-discipline, the basics of treating yourself in a healthy manner so that you don't like friggin' die, bare minimum shit that it really shouldn't be that hard to do. We just lack discipline, like across the board, and I know it's a battle, right? It's a fucking battle, but
yeah,
I mean, it's a battle. Yeah, I get it, but it's a good fight to fight.
No, I agree. I feel like at times that when a lot of these people, we know them and we like see them every day and shit like that, and message on Facebook or whatever, and then they stop like taking what our advice is and start treating us like friends to give us bullshit excuses all the time.
Right.
It's just like you would give it to your friend when you're like, hey, I'm coming over, and then you're like, oh yeah, something came up.
Yeah.
It's like, just fucking be honest.
It's sort of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe it's our demeanor. Maybe we just need to be more straightforward. Like, hey, I know that's like fucking stupid. I think sometimes there are times where I have had to be very forward with people because they just, just lie. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
blatant lies.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard to like. It's like, you know, when the number one thing I heard for a long time, and this is from multiple people, that they don't have room in their house to work out.
That's a weird one.
That's a super weird one.
That's a really weird one for me. I
used to live in
that too.
I had a 1-bedroom apartment and I could do any
I
workout.
don't really know how to respond to that one without any kind of like disdain and anger.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Because there's also the whole world. You can walk outside.
yeah. I mean, you
mean-
got the whole planet. You nowhere in the planet can you find a place to work out. Got it.
I mean, that's where it's kind of at.
That's like saying I can't eat healthy because there's no healthy food in my house.
Yeah.
Wait. I've literally heard that one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? That's not how that works. Like,
The things that we hear is just unbelievable, and I think what we're just trying to say throughout all this is we know it's bullshit. You have to have self-awareness, and you need to start like giving more craps about yourself. Like we can't give again. I feel like most of the time in here we've given more crap about than the people that were in here for themselves, and that usually ends up with us being frustrated, and angry, and then. You know, it just it kind of spirals out of control with some people because they don't like hearing truths or they don't want to accept what is going on. Right. They just think, well, this is just not right for me. What, someone telling you like the truth?
Yeah, and it's not nowhere it's gonna be right.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe if you want to go like. I'll say I've seen a lot of personal trainers that are like, "Oh my God, you're so oh yeah, you're amazing," right?
Yeah,
because they just want to hang out with you. They want you to hang out with them. They don't actually train you.
Yeah.
They're not improving you.
Yeah.
They
We're
just
never
want
gonna do
your
that.
money, and then you feel good about yourself. But in reality, you're just wasting your fucking money.
Yeah.
And if that's what you want, don't ever come here. I'm just gonna be honest. Don't ever come here.
Yeah.
I don't want people that just want to like feel good about themselves. We actually want to help them.
I want you to feel good about yourself because you accomplished something.
Yeah, not because
I want it to be real confidence.
I was fake with you.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be like fake confidence. And you earlier you said something about like, you know, listening to someone. And you know, I will tell you, I mean, you should never listen to someone blindly. But like, I will tell you, I have a coach, I have a sensei. Like, and I want to get to a certain level with this thing. If that guy says, go out in the driveway and start chewing on gravel, I'm like, I'm out in the driveway chewing gravel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I want that thing that's on the pinnacle. That's my target and I'm going for it. And this is the guy that tells me how to get there. I'm eating gravel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the mindset, I don't understand it sometimes. You know, I really don't. Where it's like, I want this. I'm going to hire a professional. The professional says, well, here's how you do it. And you go, I don't know.
Oh. Well, it's like Eric Thomas's famous quote was where he told the story about some guy wanted to be as rich as this guy. And he's like, all right, well, meet me on the beach, come to the water. And then he's like, come out here with me and keep coming. And then he's like, this guy's crazy, whatever. Like they're going all the way deep into the ocean. And then he's like struggling to breathe, and then they come out, and he was like most of you guys kind of want stuff. You gotta want it just as bad as you want to breathe, right? Like if you actually want something, and what that means is like it's just part of who you are too. It's like it's something that you're doing all the time. It's something you're thinking about, you're working on, right? Or you don't even have to think about it because that's how much you work on it. It's just a part of you now. Breathing's just a part of what you're doing, right? So I mean, it's just. There's a lot of these times where it's just, you know, if you want to like work out consistently, it's not hard. You just work out consistently, but you got to want to do it.
Yeah, you can meditate on this too. The SEALs have that saying, "Embrace the suck," right? Yeah. And it sounds like a hoo-yah, put it on a hat and a patch and a shirt and run around and play Navy SEAL in the dirt. Yeah. But like, if you really meditate on that and accept. Like, you got to work out. Why not enjoy it? I mean, have fun. You're going to get sweaty. Get fucking sweaty. Like, if it's raining, go get in the rain. Like, you're going to get wet. Like, I watch that. I watch people, they'll like leave wherever and it's like drizzling and they're like, it's gonna get fucking wet, and then they get wet, and then it's like, well, you're gonna get wet anyway. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Just do your thing. Like, you gotta work out. Just come do it. Just have some fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not open heart surgery.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to have fun during open heart surgery, but like, we can have fun with this stuff. And damn it, that's how I approach it. Like, I'm gonna enjoy this process. And for me, that saying, embrace the suck, that's really what that means. It's like, just get into it. Like,
and we talked about this kind of like in our group the other day, but it's like, every day doesn't have to be like this one where you like come in and go freaking crazy.
No, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be like, I gotta be first, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you come in and just play how you feel. If you're tired, go slow. Just do it. But don't worry about how long it takes you or how many reps you get or what weight you're doing.
One day you're going to feel awesome and you're going to fucking crush it, and we're going to be right there to give you a high five.
Yeah, and then a day you feel good, fucking go at it. And then, but again, like, just enjoy it. Just try to get something out of it too, just more than just kind of just doing it. And I think that's, again, it's more about consistency than it is anything else. So what do you enjoy about, you have to enjoy something about working out. Maybe it's the feeling after, okay. But sometimes it's like, I'm doing it with my friends. Okay, cool. Well, enjoy it and have fun doing it with your friends. If it's
if that's the part you like.
Yeah. If it's pushing yourself or getting better or trying to do something harder than you've done before, then try to do that each time you come in.
Yep.
Whatever it is, just try to find that, focus on that.
Yep.
But
you never lose that way.
But again, it comes down to like, I think trying new things, as in like, if you don't actually like sit down and try to meditate even 5 minutes by yourself, even if it's a couple times a week where you just sit and just try to think about whatever's on your mind, right? I think that's huge in helping. And then when we're talking about things like this, when he's saying meditate on it, I mean, literally, there's some of you who probably never even done that before, sat and just thought and didn't do anything else.
Yeah. It's really hard at first, but it's amazing.
Yeah, but it's also really relaxing when you actually take time to do it. And so try these things that we're talking about and try to think about these things that we're talking about. Maybe do it right after this.
That'd be great.
And if it's the first time you've ever done it, that's okay. It might feel weird or might feel awkward. You don't have to tell your significant other that you're doing it, but you can tell them that you're doing it. But I just feel like whenever we're talking about things like this, where it's new things and trying to get people to try new things, that it's hard to get them started on it. But try that kind of stuff, and maybe that will help you with some of your self-worth and get you to help motivate yourself to trust and trust in us when we check in, that we're checking in and we actually are curious, but that you have that motivation enough to keep trying these things and keep doing these things on your own. Because if you can do it now, it's going to be so much easier when shit gets back to normal.
I know. And there's a lot of people that are crushing it, and it inspires me so much to see that. I'm just like, damn. And it makes me get off the couch, Hell
yeah.
It's like, that's the shit.
Yeah, I agree.
So, embrace the suck. Get off the couch.
Give a shit about yourself.
Yeah.
And fucking push yourself.
Yeah. Cool. That's it?
That's it for me.
Awesome.
Peace.